Everyone, Merry Christmas week. My name is Lauren Urbonis, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I have the pleasure of doing a weekly video series called Show Me How It's Done every Tuesday at noon. And so if you follow my channel, then hopefully you've liked and subscribed and you get notifications when I go live or when I post. So this video is not one of my usual show me how it's done videos, but it is a project that is just very near and dear to my heart. I created this for my December card club for everyone who comes or takes a to-go kit of my monthly cards. And I just thought it was so beautiful that I would do a video and share it with you guys. So I'm hoping that you're getting those notifications and that this pops up for you because it is a beautiful Luminary card featuring our nice nativity set. So I would like to show you guys how to do this. Just so you know, all the measurements and the supplies are listed in the description on my video. So you can always hit pause right now and go cut a bunch of those things out. I don't list like one donkey, one cow, one sheep, but you can just maybe take a peek at the card right now. There's a camel hiding inside. And then go and cut those pieces so that you have them ready to assemble. But if you would like to follow along with me, I'd love to show you how to make this card. So I'm going to set it down over here. I know it's not as nice to see that way, but it's hard to show you 3D things when I need my hands. Okay, so what we need to start with is a card base. So I've used Night of Navy because I just find navy as my go-to for the Christmas season. So you're going to cut this piece of navy at 5.5 by 11. And then we need 2 score marks in here. Do you see these 2 lines? Okay, so 2 score marks. The first one is at, should face it this way, it's at 4 1/4. And then the second one is at 7 3/4. So once again, the first one is at 4 1/4, 7 3/4. Okay, and don't worry about folding those yet. It'll actually be a little easier if you just don't fold these right now, because we need to make, you see this little window here? We need to make this luminary feature. So that's what we're going to start with. That's what I'm going to guide you through first, and then we'll come back and cut a few pieces of paper to finish the card off. Okay? So what I need you to get ready are 2 pieces of designer series paper. So I have to be honest, these 2 came from our holiday catalog. They were from the Oh Holy Night suite. However, that is being discontinued and the paper is now sold out. But there is a really great star paper in our annual catalog right now. It's called Stargazing. I do have some right here. So it's called Stargazing. And on the one side of the paper is like some fun, funky planet colors and even some planets. But on the back of pretty much every paper is a galaxy scene. And so you can just sort through this package and you can find whichever stars or night sky you might want to use. Keep in mind, we are chopping out like a whole centerpiece of those stars. So you're not going to get like a big, bold blue color in your project. We're cutting that whole circle out. You're just going to see a little bit. And this is a really nice way to use your paper if you did order that set. But I just figured I wanted to show this card to you guys anyways, even if you couldn't get it, because you can just keep your eyes out. Maybe somebody else is getting rid of their set. So the dies, while we're on that, most of them are out. So the dies are from the holiday catalog as well, and they are sold with this beautiful Night Divine stamp set. But the dies are all in my little bucket because I've been using them. We've got the Nativity, Mary and Joseph, camel, stars, donkey, sheep. There's clouds, and all of that is kind of hidden in this one set. I will show you in a little bit where I got some of the sentiments and decoration from here though, because of course these are all very large. Could have used Joy and Peace, but that was about it. Okay, back to our papers. Night Divine or Stargazing or Oh Holy Night, whatever paper you have that has stars, we're going to need 2 of them. They need to be 3 inches by 5 1/4. Okay, 2 papers, 3 inches by 5 1/4. Now we're going to take one of the pieces, it doesn't matter which one, and we're going to put adhesive all over the back of it. We want it fully covered with adhesive, okay? And that's going to get attached to one of our sections on here. I will show you in just a second. Okay. Got that. Using tape, you just need a flat adhesive. So if you've got glue, seal, any of those are great. Okay. Now on your navy piece, you've got one large section. That's not the one we want. We don't want the middle section. We want this small one. If you're worried about, did I pick the right one? Turn your paper over so the adhesive side isn't going down, and just check and make sure you've got a nice blue border all the way around this piece. If the answer is yes, you can turn it over and attach it in that space. Okay. So this is one piece of our star paper. Now the other star piece, I only want you to put the teeniest, tiniest bit of adhesive in the middle, okay? That is going to get cut out with our circle die, and so it's not going to affect the card staying together. We can't attach this all the way because we need to be able to put this vellum in between the layers, okay? But the vellum doesn't get cut. So only one teeny, 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 tiny piece here. That's all you need. And we're going to put that onto the back section in the exact same spot. So making sure you've got a nice blue border all the way around, like so. I'm going to move this because I need to grab my cut and emboss machine, and that takes over most of my desk space here. So you're going to grab that. And then you're also going to grab a circle die of some sort or a circle punch, okay? So, actually, let me see. I'll be right back. See if there's a punch. Okay. There actually could be a really simple way to do this if you've got this punch. So if you've got the 2.5 inch punch, you don't need your machine. All you're gonna do is, hold on, I'm moving that just to show you this, is you're gonna come in here and you're gonna punch through all 3 of the layers. But the reason I'm not doing that is because it doesn't give you a pretty stitched edge like our die does, okay? So if you just have a punch, and if you want the easiest way to do this, use your 2.5 inch circle punch, center your circle, and punch those 3 layers out. I'm not gonna do that, because I wanna show you the other way to do this using the Stylish Shapes dies. That one, machine back, okay? So I'm using my Stylish Shapes circle right here, okay? Do you see the beautiful stitching on both sides of it? That's why I'm using this die, because I want that stitching to show up. Now, keep in mind, this die is made to go through 1 piece of paper, potentially 2, okay? It is not made to go through 3. So what we're going to see is it's going to cut through 2 of our pages, and then it's only going to indent into the 3rd, so we're going to have to run this again. So what I'm going to do is the piece of star paper that you've put down all the way, like everything is set on that paper, you're going to put this into the middle, and then we're going to run this through right now. Make sure to go forward and back. Try to get as much of it indented as possible, and then I'll show you what happens when we pull that out. Okay. Make a little sandwich. I have a purple plate just because I like to differentiate, but we don't sell those, okay? Don't fall in love with it. I'm going to go forward and back a couple times because this is a lot of layers and I want as much of a chance that second layer being shown, okay? So if I lift this up now with the dog here, thank you, Ara, take my die out, I should be able, see, remember it's attached to that one in the back right now. So pull that off gently because that tape is attached at the moment. There we go. This piece you can keep and you can use for something else in the future. I don't think I had one handy. I actually made an ornament out of mine, and we also did that at my December monthly club. So if you're like, oh, I love this set and I want that ornament and whatever, I do have a couple extra sets of December monthly club. They're $15 or free with a $35 order, and shipping's about $2, but I can send them anywhere in Canada. And if you just shop online, you automatically get one if your order is over $35. So just so you guys know, keep this and you can make something with it later. Okay, so now this piece is falling off because we've taken the piece away that it was connected to. Oops, come on. One piece, there we go. And you can see, hopefully, I can see because I'm here, there's a slight indent. Do you see those little divots? That shows me exactly where my circle now needs to line up with. So it's going to be in the exact spot that I need it to be. And I'm going to run this through so that it's exactly where I need it. Because that die can't go through the 3 layers very easily. Okay? It should just kind of, at some point, nestle in. There you go, to the grooves. I'm going to run this through so my hole is exactly where I need it to. Yeah. You're done with your circle die, so you can put that away. I just have a bin right now. And this circle scrap can also be used in the future for something else. Okay? Move your cut and emboss machine for the moment. You guys will need it later to cut out all of your scenes, but we're ready to go back to this section. Okay? So, ready to make our luminary window? This is going to be the front of our card, okay? So let's turn this over. This is going to be the back of our card, and we need to put a piece of vellum as a little window for that light to shine through, okay? Now I easily could have cut my vellum the same size as this paper, and it would have been fine, but why? It's just a waste to cover this extra space that nobody's going to see, because we're going to hide this vellum underneath this star piece that we've previously cut. So nobody's going to see the edges. What I'm going to do here is you're either going to take a little bit of skinny 1/8 of an inch tape or glue or whatever you have on hand. Also, another option, let me just show you something easy. It's in place. You could just tape the sides here, because really nobody's going to see this. And you're going to put adhesive all over the back of this piece now, hold that in place. So that's probably the easiest way to do this. Got my nice skinny tape because it's a rather small border here. But you can use glue as well if you don't have this stuff. And we're ready now to put this piece over top of this one. If you use double-sided tape, go ahead and take that off, that backing, because you might as well use the adhesive that you've put on there. Need it for it to go to waste. And I just have one caution that before you just go putting this down on top, you need to make sure it's facing the right way, because it's very easy to put this over and to realize, oh no, my circles do not line up because I had my paper facing the other way when I cut. So just hold it up to the light a little bit, make sure those circles are lining up, and then you can go ahead and attach. Look, sorry, I need to hold it to the light. It is the other way. Why we don't work with shadows. Up to the light. Should be good as long as that circle is in the same spot through the front. Squish this down, okay? So usually all we do on the inside of a card is to kind of just make it pretty, and then we just stop. But I decided I wanted to go a little bit crazy and actually go all out for this card. So I'm going to work on the inside of my card first, and then we'll go and decorate in the front, okay? So next section here easily could have just been left navy. It was pretty, but there's a really beautiful Stars at Night hybrid embossing folder, and it is sold with a set of beautiful star dies. So I decided I was going to use that embossing folder and decorate this piece of navy. So here's the dies. I'm showing them to you because they are one of my favorite things from the catalog, but they are retiring. So, and they're on sale. So instead of $54 for the embossing folder and the dies, they're about $37. So this is where I got the tiny star for the front of my card. Then I used the embossing folder for the inside, just so we know where I'm getting things from. So this piece of navy, if you would like to do this option, and if you don't own the embossing folder, maybe emboss with some snowflakes or some tiny stars or a pattern of your choice. You're going to cut this at, need 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. Put some adhesive on the back. Pop it into place. Just figured if I was gonna make a wow card, might as well make a wow card. Stay to the end as well, because I have a wow project to show you. I'm not showing you how to make it, but I'll show you what it looks like. I made it as a gift for one of my friends for her Christmas present. Tell her. Go. Now I always need something to write on, so we need a piece of white in this space. So that white is going to be 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I'm going to put it on with the flat adhesive. Now we need to start doing a few layers. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to make a little bumper so that when our card stands, it has something to rest against. If there's nothing here, and this is popped up on dimensionals, if there's nothing here, the card will just slide forward and kind of look droopy, and it won't look as pretty. Okay, so we need to make this little easel feature for the card to rest and bump against. Okay, so this Night of Navy piece here is going to be 1 inch by 4 1/2. And as I mentioned, it needs to pop up on dimensionals. That is essential for your easel to work. I'm going to use these big ones. So I put it up about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom, and then just make sure there's an equal border on the left and the right, or as equal as you can, okay? So that's nice and popped up. When you're ready to do this little sentiment piece, you can come back and stamp on this nice little strip of white. So this one is going to be 3/4 of an inch by 4 1/4. Okay, I'm gonna just save that for a second because I actually want to fold my card up and just show you how it's going to work. So we haven't done any folding yet, right? So this is the inside. So layer number 1 is going to fold towards you. If you've got a bone folder, give it a nice crisp line. And then layer number 2, you need to be careful because this piece might be a little fragile. It's got a giant hole in the middle of it. Is also going to face forward. Okay, and then it'll come forward like this. If you notice it's kind of pulling back, you might just need to make the back a little crisper, and it should push that forward right ahead for you. Now to put this in an envelope, just so you know, all you're going to do is tuck this circle front in, fold it down, and you can put it in an envelope to send, and hopefully it'll kind of pop out when someone opens it and they'll realize like, oh yes, I need to stand it up. Okay, so now let's start decorating. I'm going to start with my sentiment, and as I mentioned, that stamp set didn't really have a lot of little sentiments. I could have done Peace and Joy, but I really loved the Merriest Trees set this year. I have done so many cards with it, and I have done a few Show Me How It's Done as well, so make sure to check those out. They're in the log. I like this, hoping your home is filled with the spirit of the season. So I chose this set for that sentiment, and I'm just going to stamp in black because I wanted something that would look different than the navy stars, and the black kind of ties in because I'm using that in a silhouette. So got my Memento Black Ink. Ink this guy up, stamp that right in the middle, hopefully. Stamping like a foot in front of me. Oh yes, that's pretty good. And then I'm going to decorate with some stars. I already mentioned I used the dies from the Stars at Night. This is where I got the little cluster of stars. But you guys, please don't stress. Like if you do not own everything I'm showing you, but you own stars from something else, use those. It'll be great. It'll be beautiful. Okay, so don't stress. My videos are here to show you the technique and kind of an idea, and you can make them your own. If you don't like the nativity, you can just put stars, or you can put something else in here. It's kind of like a cute sky, maybe a reindeer. Let's do this decoration. I need a scrap paper, as I do not want to get this on my desk. Using Night of Navy ink, so it ties in with most of the paper that I've used. And do you see how large this is? I'm only going to use part of those stars, one side, part on the other. I love how juicy my ink pad is. This one, definitely before I re-inked it. Close that up so I don't put a finger in it. And then I'm ready to attach this to the card. So I don't need to pop this layer up on dimensionals because the navy's already popped up. I'm going to just put this flat with some glue or some tape, whatever works for you. Okay, now the decorating will begin. So again, if you own the Night Divine dies, you purchase them, or even own something similar, because in years past we've definitely had some wise men or nativity things, you can start cutting those things out. So let me just give you the colors that I used, and you can cut what you will. And if you don't want the nativity scene, or you can't get the nativity scene because it might be sold, you can substitute other little things now. So we've got black for my kind of full Mary, Joseph, Shepherds, Wise Men scene. I used Pecan Pie for my camel and my cow. I use Smoky Slate for my donkey. Got a nice little white lamb. 2 white little clouds. There's 2 sizes in there, so I did 1 large and 1 small. And then I have my gold foil for that star. So the star, just keep in mind, is not part of this die set, but hopefully you have a star to use from something else. So I'm going to start with my focal piece and pop this up on dimensionals. Everything else gets worked around that scene. Okay. Here. So mini dimensionals work wonderfully with this die set if you're wondering. Fit in the back. Add the black mini dimensionals. That would probably be better, but okay. Didn't think of it. All right, I'm going to lay this flat in front of me just because it's easiest to work on. And I'm putting this scene right middle here. You do end up seeing a couple dimensionals hiding through here, but I'm hoping that people will forgive that quite easily, that they just kind of won't really notice. They'll see your writing, they'll see the candle. I tried to support only the 2 on the side, and it kind of wasn't as strong. So just so you know, you do see those. Got your little donkey. He only really needs a dimensional on his body because his head kind of is leaning over the wise man there. So just put one on his body. He can just rest. Again, this scene is completely interchangeable. You can move pieces around. I really do wish that the dies came with animals, like one cow that faced this way, one that faced that way, because I got to a point with a couple of things that I was like, oh, I really wish this would face the other direction. And I was making my project and kind of had to improvise. So you'll see what I mean. Here's a little sheep. A little star. Night sky. And just mini dimensionals all over the place here. And I don't know, I kind of thought this clouds brought the scene to life a little bit. There. Okay, so now on this sample, I did not put the camel on the front. I put him just on the inside because I kind of thought he was taking over or looking like he was floating in the air. But I will do one that shows you what it looks like, him in the front, and you can make your choice, okay? Just put dimensionals in his body. Don't need to worry about the legs. They're too spindly to do any dimensionalizing there. The reason I thought it was kind of odd is because it kind of has to float in midair to be able to be taller than the shepherd here. But if you can get past that, then you certainly can put your camel on the front and add one more little cloud or 2. Completely your choice. You can tuck him in the back or you can put him on the front, but he really is a beautiful little camel, so probably want it. There we go. Okay. Boy, my clouds. It's been fun being crooked today. Here we go. That's better. Okay, so with camel, without camel, camel on the inside. Okay, if you're putting the camel inside, don't pop him up on dimensionals, just put him down with glue because you don't want this to bump into a camel that's popped up. You want it to bump into this layer. Okay, now you're ready to finish your card up. And I grabbed these little luminary lights just at the dollar store. Please don't put a real candle in there. It will not end well. They're battery operated, and you can get 2 of them for like $1.25. Just throw them in here. You can order some from Amazon too. Then if you're in like a nice fireside room or the dark, this is just really beautiful to have a mantelpiece. Okay, I promised to show you the gift that I made for my friend. And so I used the same set of dies. That's why they're all out. And I took one of the giant pieces of paper that was in our paper package and made this scene. So this has a nice crush in it. I got to use some black to kind of make silhouettes. But then I got really frustrated because you see, where is he? Okay, I made this up myself because on the one side of the die piece is a shepherd, right? There's a shepherd. On the other side, they gave me a wise man with a sheep. I don't want a wise man with a sheep in the manger. So I cut out another shepherd, but like flipped the die around and cut the paper backwards, and then had to do the same thing because the wise men were facing the opposite direction as the camel. And so to have them walk down, I actually had to put the die on the back side of the paper. So it kind of makes the paper look a little weird, and I had to like chop the little sheep off of the front of them so their robes look a little weird, but she's not going to know that. It's just between you and me that I was able to work around it, but I really wish I had a wise man that faced the same direction as the little camels. So that's how you can make one. Okay, and then I just have little sheep kind of coming down the hill, and I used some of our little rectangle for the distressed rectangles and cut out this little sentiment from Night Divine and embossed that in gold. So it looked really good. So this is just an idea for you. You're welcome to take a photo to try it yourself. These stars are from the Stars at Night large set, and then I just use some of those smaller pieces as well. But it's another idea for you if you want something to look at. But there we go. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I will be popping on, well, I won't be live. I'm going to post a couple other videos between, my last Show Me How It's Done and Christmas. And just a reminder that I will not be doing a video on the 26th because I'm just going to take that week off, kind of enjoy time with my family. But I have a few more Christmas things to show you still, so I will just post those videos randomly. Make sure to like and subscribe to my Lauren Scrapplot channel on YouTube, because then you'll get notified anytime a new video comes up. Merry Christmas, you guys, if you don't catch any of my other videos, and I will see you in the new year because we have a new mini catalog and celebration starting January 4th. So make sure to follow and check out all of the projects and the fun announcements and stuff that I have in regards to that. See you guys later. Bye.